The day I graduated college in 2005, I decided to start a rental company. It took a few years until it became successful enough to be my full-time job, but now it's all I do. My hope is to help you by sharing my knowledge. So today's tent is a 20 by 20 pole tent. This tent was actually kind of dirty, but we did bring the spray-on mildew remover. I'll show that later in the video. So right now we're just folding out this tarp, and we usually just unfold this halfway for a 20 by 20 because it's 25 by 45, but we know that we're going to be flipping this tent to spray the stuff on, so we put it all the way out. And then we're just spreading the tent. And this is where we flip it because we realized it was dirty. And then when we flip it, we just line it right back up where it's going to go so that while I'm spraying, the other guy can lay out the stakes and start doing everything. Because then when we flip it back over, it's going to be exactly the same. So the other guy's laying out the stakes. I'm using a water mix with the chemical. This chemical is called Tent Blitz. You can get it directly from Ship Chemicals. Ship is SHIPP, or you can buy it from RSS Distributions or a few other people that sell tent stuff. Basically, you just mix a little bit of it with water and then use one of these sprayers. I got the sprayer from Lowe's. You just pump in the air and pressurize it, and then you spray it, and then you wait about 10 to 15 minutes. That's why we do this. We flip it upside down so that the other guy can be doing things while I'm spraying and then waiting. So you see us spreading all the stakes out. We spread the ratchets out for the corners. This is the ratchet. You just hoop it through itself and then attach it to the stake underneath the second head. So you saw us spreading out everything. That's how we do it. We lay the tent out and then we lay the stakes out. Someone starts staking, and usually someone will grab the ratchets and throw them out, and the stake caps and throw them out, so that when we're at the stake doing our things, we can just do everything at once. So the tent is clean now, and we flip it back over exactly where it was. Everything's lined up. We start attaching the ratchets. We would attach these earlier, but it was flipped. So we're just attaching as we go, and then we just ratchet it kind of loosely, but not too loose. And this is a little easier when you have three guys, one guy in each ratchet, but two guys, the guy on the pole just lifts it, the one guy starts ratcheting, and then you can grab the other ratchet and start ratcheting. We just go around the tent, and then once the tent's not touching the ground, we fold up the tarp and then put in the center pole. And the center pole has a jump rope on it. The jump rope keeps poles together if they're sectional, so you got to put a loop up top and a loop on the bottom. And then this, on the middles of tents, we don't use ratchets, we just use the ropes. So we put it in, but we keep it angled. And this knot is called a clove hitch. I am not very good at describing this. It's very hard for me to train people how to do this specific knot. There are other YouTube videos that you can watch. The clove hitch is good because it's easily adjustable. And then we tighten it a little bit. And then to tighten it the rest of the way, but not all the way yet, to tighten it the rest of the way, you just lift the pole back to straight, and then it tightens it a bit. And if you're still loose, you can pull the pole back out a little bit and tighten the clove hitch. So you see how the rope got a little bit tight. And then you'll see the last step we do on the ropes. But we do all the ratchets on the corners because you can easily go through and ratchet these really tight. If you use ropes, there's a lot of adjusting. But we cut the ropes right off and just use these ratchets. Now in the back middle, there is a rope that was ripped off, so we're replacing it with a ratchet. And we have tons of ratchets with us on the truck, so it's not like we're going to be short one for our next tent. Yeah, so you see how the tent's getting pretty tight just from ratchets. Then we loop the ratchet up above the pin in the side pole, and then just tie it down. Now you see this one right here is a little loose, so I just pull this back out, and then the clove hitch is just made to easily slide a little tight. Stand it up, and it's pretty tight. But then the last step that we do is we just give it a few whacks with a hammer, and it tightens it really, really tight. And then the corners, we just have to ratchet and make sure they're tight. So there it is, looped above and then tied. And then we put stake caps on. Stake caps work best with the double-headed because the ratchet will sit under the first head, and then the stake cap can go right over the second head. It keeps, if you don't have the double head, then you got to split all of your stake caps so that they can go around the ratchet or rope. And this is the one that we were missing. So we replaced it with a ratchet. And this is the sidewalls. We do sidewalls with 2 people so they don't touch the ground because we don't want to clean them all the time. And just makes it a whole lot easier. Now my sidewalls are made to overlap by 2 feet and they hook together. So when you're just doing one sidewall, you hook it back around the pole and hook it to itself. Now this is our cart. A lot of people have been asking about the cart, how we use it. Just carry stacks of chairs and anything heavy, like super, super easy. Cross grass, you don't have to support the weight or anything. And this was it. It was a 20 by 20, one side, 35 chairs and 4 8-foot tables. And then the other guys rolling up the tarp, and we're just getting everything back in the truck. And we typically, pick up as we go. Like, I don't know if you saw, as we walk back to the truck, we grab things. So we don't have to do it all at the end. We just do it as we go. So this is the tent. It's all set. It's all tight. If wind comes, then the customer can ratchet the ratchets. It's super easy. Thanks for watching.